Hello everyone, greetings from VNR Vignan JYOTHI Institute of Engineering and Technology. This is Manohar Reddy, Department of Cybersecurity, Data Science and AIDS. Today in this session I am going to explain about the concept of virtual memory. So virtual memory, there are three types of memories. First one is main memory, second one is secondary memory, and third one is virtual memory. So what is the main memory usage and what is the secondary memory usage and what is the virtual memory usage? So about all these concepts we are going to discuss in this session. So here the virtual memory. So before understanding the virtual memory concept, we have to understand the main memory. So when main memory works, so main memory is completely runs for the programs which are executing on the CPU, So before executing the CPU, all the programs will be stored in secondary memory. So whenever the secondary memory is not executing the programs, but main memory is ready for executing the programs. That means allocating the CPU. We cannot allocate the CPU from secondary memory, but we can allocate the CPU from main memory. So the thing is what we are going to discuss here, the programs which are showing in the operating system or process which are showing in the operating system are all executing their programs in the main memory only. So but before loading into the main memory, all these processes are available in the secondary memory. So from the secondary memory to main memory it is loading. Suppose take an example, if any process with a 2 KB of the size is loading into the memory for execution. So main memory is divided into number of frames, which already we discussed in the previous concepts like paging and page replacement algorithms. So now the thing is what here, virtual memory is needed when it is needed. So the main memory is executing for all the programs, secondary memory is storing for all the programs but not executing. So now the 2 KB of the size of the process is executing of the main memory with a small number of sizes. But when comes to the large number of processes or large number of pages, is that main memory is suitable or accommodating for each and every size of the process or not? So that means simply we can say that main memory cannot, if the situation main memory cannot able to handle the large number of program sizes, then what will happen? At that time virtual memory comes here. The virtual memory is extra space where large programs can store themselves in the form of pages while their execution. So whenever the program having the large size to be executed on the main memory, at that time main memory is directly not able to provide that much of space. At that time it is looking for additional sources, additional memory. It looking for additional sources or additional memory. So that additional memory provided by this virtual memory. And this virtual address generated by CPU only. So logical memory and virtual memory both are generated by the CPU. So here only the required pages of the portions of the processes are loaded into the main memory. So when the program size is more, then main memory cannot be able to handle all that entire program size. So that at that time the main memory is looking for additional size from the CPU. So that at that time CPU provides virtual memory. So this technique is useful as large virtual memory is provided for user programs when a very small physical memory is there. So virtual memory is also memory management technique that allows the execution of a process that are not in the physical memory completely. So if the size is not in the main memory, then automatically the virtual memory is looking for the additional sources which is provided by the CPU. So virtual memory mainly gives the illusion of more physical memory than there really is with the help of demand paging concept. So more number of times we are using it for the demand paging concept. This virtual memory works in the concept of demand paging only. So in real scenarios, real-time scenarios, most processes never need all their pages at once time. So most processes are never needed they all their pages at once time. So because of this following reasons, it is not looking for them. So error handling code is not needed unless the specific error occurs. So we said that what most processes are never needed all their pages at one time. At what conditions or what reasons means these are the reasons. So the first reason is what error handling code is not needed unless that specific error occurs, and some of which are quite rare. So it looking for it is available in the quite rare applications, and arrays are often oversized for worst case scenarios, and only small fraction of the arrays are actually used in the practice itself, and certain features of the certain programs are also rarely used. So certain features, certain programs are also rarely used in the phases concept. In an operating system, the memory is usually stored in the form of units that are known as pages. So it's already discussed in the paging concepts. So the memory is usually stored in the form of units that are known as pages. So basically, these atomic units used to store large number of programs. These atomic units are stored in large number of programs. See this diagram. Whenever the physical memory is looking for the size of pages, the pages is loaded from the disk storage to main memory. So when it is loaded into the main memory, if the page size is not able to accommodate in the main memory frame, then automatically this main memory is looking for the additional source. That additional source is from virtual memory. So here the memory is mapping from this virtual memory to this particular main memory, particular physical memory. So when it is looking for the resources from the virtual memory provides the source or data or remaining size that maps to the physical memory, or that maps to the main memory. Suppose take an example, this is the A and file size is what 100 MB. File size is what 100 MB, and the size of this is 80 MB, and this for this page it is accommodating 80 MB, and remaining extra 20 MB it is looking for additional sources either from page 1 or either from page 2 or either from page 0. So from the virtual memory providing this 20 extra size for running this large program, and it is mapping with this memory mapping to this particular frame number. Now memory is mapped to this particular page, and this page is to be loaded into the particular frame. Now physical memory is loaded that frame of the process. So this concept, whenever it is asking for the demand on paging, the concept is called demand paging. So because of this only we are taking the concept of virtual memory in the more number of times in the demand paging concept only. So from this, RAM is a physical memory that holds the applications, documents and procedures on a computer. So always it is for executing them. And virtual memory is a logical memory, and it is a storage area that stores the files on your hard drive for retrieval when a computer runs out of RAM. So whenever if you want to load any particular program, suppose if we have the application called 500 MB of the application, 500 MB of the application, if you want to load, the main memory has having 300 MB. So at that time this 500 MB of the application is not able to load with this 300 MB of the memory. So at that time, to load this page, this main memory is looking for the 200 MB additional. It is retrieving from the virtual memory. So this is the process here. Virtual memory is logical memory, and it is storage area that stores the files on your hard drive for retrieval when a computer runs out of your RAM. So virtual memory is a technique that uses the secondary storage to extend the apparent sizes of the main memory, and it is allowing execution of the large programming efficiently. So take an example here, RAM size is what, 4 GB, and program needs 10 GB. So without virtual memory, program cannot be run. So at that moment, program looking for the additional source, that main memory RAM is looking for the additional source, additional memory. So that means at that time, the main memory is looking for the additional data service, additional size provider. So virtual memory, with the virtual memory, the remaining 6 GB stored on disk and loaded whenever it is needed. 6 GB is provided by the virtual memory and it is loaded into the disk, and it is loaded whenever it is needed. So how to check virtual memory in your Windows operating system? So we can check each and whenever you install the operating system, automatically it provides some space for main memory, provides some space for secondary memory, and provides some space for virtual memory also. So virtual memory calls whenever the RAM is running out of memory. Whenever the RAM is running out of memory, at that time only virtual memory calls. So if you want to check the virtual memory size in your operating system, Windows operating system, you can check the virtual memory by using this procedure. So what you have to do? You have to go to the system properties in your operating system, go to the system properties, go to the advanced tab, go to the performance settings option, click on the advanced option and click on the virtual memory option. So alternatively, you can use the system information also. You can use the system info command. You can use the system info command also for view the information about your operating system, and system information and network information. So about these all information you will get by typing the system info command on your command prompt. So you can check virtual memory in these two ways. One is what, by going the regular procedure from the system properties, and by typing the command system info command. So if you type system info command, you will get the details about the operating system information, as well as system model information, as well as the network information, network which is connected to your operating system information also. And the advantages of virtual memory. So virtual memory allows you to run more applications at a time. So virtual memory is already reserved memory. So because of that reservation process, it allows you to run more applications at the time. And with the help of this virtual memory, you can easily fit many large programs into smaller programs also. So whenever the RAM is out of memory, always virtual memory is ready to help you. And with the help of this virtual memory, a multi-programming environment can be easily implemented. Virtual memory, multiple program environment can be easily implemented. So because of this only, this virtual memory concept only, demand paging works. And disadvantages of virtual memory. So virtual memory occupies the storage space which might be otherwise used for a long-term data storage. So when you see this occupies virtual memory space, it takes more space. It takes more space from the system reserved space. So whenever you installing operating system, at that time it is giving the space for hard disk partitions. It is giving the space for hard disk partitions, as well as it is giving the space for system reserved space. So here the virtual memory occupies the storage space for the system reserved space, and it takes more time in order to switch between applications. So virtual memory, through this virtual memory, the processes having switching between any applications, it takes more time. It takes more time to switch from one side to one page to another page, or another page to one page. And the performance of virtual memory is not as good as that of RAM. So always whenever the program is loaded into the main memory, it is executing very fast. But whenever the main memory is out of RAM, out of size, then it looks for virtual memory. So always virtual memory is slow compared with the main memory to load of the performance of the process. So because of that, the process wise it takes more time, and performance wise it takes more time, and storage wise it takes more space comparing with the main memory. So these are the virtual memory concepts. And if you want to look for more the data about virtual memory concepts, you can use the following textbook and the following two links for the more concept about the virtual memory. Thank you all.
Like, share, comment and subscribe VNR Digital Learning Resource YouTube channel.